everybody. This is Luke Johnson here. I'm part of Solcrypto and Chain of Things, and I've been working a lot. I'm actually a solar engineer, but like everything, solar energy and cryptocurrency as well, crypto assets and IoT. So this is a short screen recording. Probably I don't want to get it too long, probably 15 minutes. And if you look over here, you can find me as well on Twitter, Solcrypto, Chain of Things. Talk. What do I need to present in this presentation, and who is it for? It's mainly really for the SolarCoin Foundation, affiliates of SolarCoin, also Chain of Things people as well. Anyone who's talking already to Solcrypto about affiliate websites and sub-affiliate websites, for example. There's a great crew up there in Korea and some really great guys down in Thailand that maybe be interested in what we're working on and what we're doing. So let's go over to what's Solcrypto. So Solcrypto is an affiliate website for SolarCoin. We're based in Hong Kong and also in Japan. And we've been operational a few years, but we're an affiliate website. We help people get their solar coins, working closely with the SolarCoin Foundation. Solcrypto is really focused actually on the data logger part of the, if people are not too familiar with SolarCoin ecosystem, it's quite big now. There's quite a number of companies involved. There's Electric Chain, there's Global Solar Change, and there's Solcrypto, there's SolarCoin Foundation themselves. There's a number of different parties, and they're all concentrating on different things in the whole ecosystem. And Solcrypto has decided, probably about a year ago, we decided to go really into monitoring systems and data loggers. So we're testing up a full node data logger for SolarCoin. And I'll talk a little bit about that in the presentation. So I think everyone's pretty on board about, or anyone listening to this, or maybe if you share it to some new people as well, everyone really knows what a blockchain is, a shared ledger. So there's a few different types of blockchains. There's the private blockchains, and there's also the, open blockchains. But SolarCoin, I'll just talk about the SolarCoin blockchain at the moment, and there's similar open blockchains like Ethereum. But for the SolarCoin blockchain, it's an open blockchain, and everyone syncs up their information every block. That's about every minute on the network. There's no master, no central authority. And so examples, blockchains, everyone's probably familiar with this. Ethereum blockchains and types of blockchains like private blockchains. So some people are working on those, and public blockchains. And there's also other things called side chains. I think people are a bit familiar with those. So blockchain and solar energy. Why are we working on this? Mainly because of this point. Blockchain and solar energy. So I'll give you an example in Japan. When we started working on the solar projects here in Japan, there was about maybe 20 solar plants out there in the countryside. Not too many, maybe on some like big buildings and so on, maybe Sharp or Kyocera. Not too many people working on building up solar plants. But then they introduced a new government feed-in tariff in 2012, and then it just exploded. So in the last 5 years, it's gone up to now more than 10,000 solar plants out there, all over the place. They're all owned by different people. So it's quite decentralized, really. And they're all over the place, but the problem is their monitoring systems, they're either not there, or they're not really that great, or they're not working properly, or you actually have to walk out to the place and get a CSV file and bring it back and upload it to your own servers or something. So it's just really, that's the stage out in Japan right now. So in the future, we want to bring that together with IoT and cryptocurrency as well. So I think people are pretty familiar with this quite famous picture now of the types of networks. And so I just wanted to talk about this because, you know, there's examples of each one of the networks. There's Facebook, which is quite centralized, and other networks as well. They're quite easy to deploy. They're fast. They're scalable. They're really the basic positives of those is they don't take too long to actually deploy out. For a decentralized network, where solarcoin is not quite there yet, but over time it will get more decentralized and eventually go out to a distributed network. It takes longer to build up these networks because you've got all of these parts that have to get deployed out, and then they've got to like evolve, and they've got to get different affiliates, sub-affiliates, different nodes. So it takes longer, but inherently the positive benefit is if one of the nodes fails, it doesn't like break down the whole network. For example, if you're comparing it to this centralized network, you break this part and then it falls over. So eventually you want to get to this distributed sense of the network where all the information is really anti-fragile in the way that it connects up to everyone. So those networks are very similar. Like they're based on this structure that is called a direct acyclic graph structure. So there's two examples that I know of right now. There's probably hundreds more. But the two ones that I've looked at are IOTA for IoT, and also IPFS, which is amazing in itself. So have a look at those a little bit more. But the main point of this slide is it's going to take time to get from here all the way to here. But once you do get to here, you've built an amazing organism, really, or ecosystem. So that's where we want to go. So I'll just flip back to the thing. So talk about IoT. So Solcrypto is building out the data logger. We're working with Chain of Things as well to Chain of Things is building out the Ethereum data logger, and Solcrypto will help with the solarcoin data logger. So we actually do have a data logger out there on the balcony right now. It's been going for about there's two. They've been going for about 150 days now, and I'll just find a picture of them so you don't. Me 1 second to find that picture. Okay, well, I'll find it later. But basically, the data logger is out there on the balcony, and this is the login to it here. You can see it's like a full node. You can see over here. There's we've SSH'd into the balcony on the Wi-Fi, so there's a local network, and that's the external IP address. This is the number of blocks right now we're up to. If you go look at the chain, I think if you reload that, we're at 895, and this one is, so if you reload it, 858. So we're a little bit behind the chain, but that happens sometimes. Probably 30 to 50 blocks out, depending on the time of day, the number of nodes on the network, and also internet capacity here in the office. But in general, we could say that 80% of the time this node's operational and it's running, it's keeping up with the chain. Unfortunately, it also does have issues where it either there's a broken pipe or something in the software, and it would close down. So that's why we're testing it internally here at Solcrypto for about 150 days so far. And so I've just logged into the GUI of it, which I don't run all the time. So if you just go to a HTOP system tools, you can start to look at what's happening. It's a daemon, Sorry, I don't know how to say that properly. And it's running all the time. When a block comes in, it'll pump up the CPU usage. But if you have a look here, this is the major memory. So we're currently 925 megabytes of usable memory, but we're already at 765 megabytes. And at the start of loading the chain, you've got it way down here, you've got about less than 200 megabytes. But as the chain gets longer, it creeps up. And last week it was about 700 megabytes. Now we're getting up to 765. So I think we've only got about maybe 2 months left until we're really hit the limit. So we're really waiting for some new solarcoin daemon updates, so we can really prune the blockchain, and so it can come back down on the memory usage, and just in general it works better, less lag. You see this it's driving around, it's a bit lagging, and so on and so forth. So back to the talk. So that's blockchain IoT. So I talked a little bit about that. I talked a little bit before about solar energy, or what we're doing. And finally, the goal of what we want to learn here. So I think the major goal here with SolarCoin and what we're doing is we need to build up the network, and we need to build it up in a way that it's very anti-fragile, it's secure, and it gets ways for more people to join to claim their solar coins, and easier for everyone, because there's quite a lot of depth to running a full node or running a data logger at the moment. Our initial goal was to just build out data loggers and just send them out and get people to set them up, but unfortunately we're not right there at the moment. Over the last 150 days we've had some issues with the blockchain lag and also the RAM. So until we solve those technical issues about the RAM, we can't say that we have like even a minimum viable product to actually just even go and test in an alpha phase. So the goal really is to send out maybe 10 of those data loggers, and basically get them out into the environment, and just use them and get some learnings from them. But basically the point of it is to get one of these out into the environment, just get all the problems happening, and just fix them. So here's the actual, it's like based on Raspberry Pi technology, Raspberry Pi 3, and this is actually, this connects to a Modbus input protocol, so it reads it and it pipes it to the right place on the operating system. Here we've got quite it's where you store your blockchain on an 8 gigabyte Toshiba USB. You don't want to store it actually on your SD card. Pardon me, because basically that could have the capability of corrupting your operating system once your chain is getting longer. So this is our little place where we make stuff, maybe like this, and the solar energy map the world. But it's very fun and interesting and what we're trying to do. So the next steps, what am I here? What's my purpose of this talk? I'm very concerned about the way we can build out the local networks in a way that SolarCoin and IoT can live together and evolve together and be secure, be kind of pseudo-anonymous, in a way that they're anti-fragile. So what's this thing? This is called a Tokashireirenji IoT Ring. So what's that? That sounds very weird. A Tokashireirenji ring came, actually it's from history. It's one of these, maybe you don't know. But this evolved in Japan in the Edo times, or just before it's a Warring States period. So these are all thumbprints of people. As you noted, they actually have their thumbprints as a stamp, or their personal seal. Sometimes they were like sealed in blood. It's quite an intense time. But the point is, it's not a hierarchical structure. Nobody here, although there are names and seals here of an organization, nobody knows who's the actual, master node or the master of the organization. So it's survived throughout history in Japan and other countries in Korea as well. And you can't really find a direct translation other than Korean and Japanese, but they call it an umbrella consecutive letter. So basically the idea is to make a chain of nodes, in this sense, for master nodes, for solarcoin, on IoT, on Raspberry Pis or on Bitcoin 21 computers, in a way that there is no master node, but they're full nodes, and they're all aware of one another. So I think that's important. Not only do you have the blockchain as the way to keep everyone in sync, you have these kind of trusted, I don't know what you call it, trusted master nodes. There are other networks that are doing this as well. I think Steam, probably Dash is doing it, and a few other ones. But the way that we want to do it in Solarcoin is we want to do it in a decentralized way, and we want to have it in a way so we can log in and see how they're going and control them a little bit, maybe at a affiliate level for Solarcoin or a sub-affiliate level. For example, Solcrypto could have one of these, and then there could be 2 or 3 others at the start in the sub-affiliates. And then there might be the Solarcoin Foundation as well in there. We don't know yet. Just an idea at the moment, but something I wanted to bring up. So that's our real goal here is to build up the network, build up the number of nodes, and kind of re-decentralize. The concept is quite recent, but basically the IPFS and other secure scuttlebutt and a few other projects are doing this, like re-decentralization. We want to do it because we want to be quite anti-fragile in our design, but we know there's a process to get there. We can't just get there straight away. So the last thing I wanted to show and tell, I guess, is this. You see this kind of running in the background, but what it is a way to kind of see what's happening on Twitter, and then kind of see how that goes into your local Twitter scanner. So this is if you look at the IP address, it's a local IP address, and we've got like the latest tweet on some filtered keywords. At the moment we've hit rate limit because there's too many tweets with those keywords, but when it does calm down a bit, we'll see the keywords come out here, and we'll see what's actually happening. So this is running internally, and the way it works is it looks at Twitter, it kind of puts them in a file for the certain keywords, and you can start to do some analytics on that. You can see back through the last few hours what people are tweeting about in regards to blockchain, Solarcoin, IoT. I think another hashtag is Chain of Things, Hans Lombardo or Dr. Lombardo, and also Solarcoin mem, because we're making some Solarcoin memes. So we start to see some patterns every day about what's happening in the Twitter sphere. As you note, on the edge of Twitter, on the top layer, you see all these tweets, but you think people are actually doing that, but actually I think probably a very large percentage of tweets are actually machines like what we've built here, because you can get this tweet catch and you can actually put it into another, you can tweet it basically, so you can retweet it. So it's kind of like a Twitter machine. But the interesting thing here is this is a tweet flow, but just below it we have a Solarcoin Blockchain Explorer flow. So you could actually just link this up here, like to the tweet catch, and you could even tweet what's happening on the solarcoin blockchain, which might be interesting, might not be. I have no idea, but there's all these great tools, and we really do like Node-RED because it's very easy to deploy. It's easy to make functions. It's visual. For me, I'm not a intense programmer in the sense, or coder in the sense of writing functions. I can write some functions, but I love seeing it all flow together with visual programming. So these are quite easier, a lot easier for me to understand and do. You can store files, everything like that. So it's a great little thing that you can run. So this is actually running off the Raspberry Pi, and it's just going. So we search here, we press the button, so it builds this little thing here. And yeah, this is what happened for this block hash. And it found the hash number, found the block number. I've got to kind of fix it up a bit with the filtering, but basically in the goal you have your kilowatt hour output from your node. So then you have a little button here where it actually says it will push that to the blockchain, and you'll see it pop up here. And then eventually, because the internal server, this gives us directive about how to run our own API with the SolarCoin Foundation. So if we link this up to another sub-affiliate, if they have that, we could log in and see it, and they could get a log file like this. Open your day's log file, and just know which ones to run through your SolarCoin SolarFusion API. Still via people, but it's very loose backend. Okay, so I think that's all at the moment, but yeah, please come back to me with questions, suggestions, improvements, anything really. And the last bit was showing this document that we've got from the guys over in Korea, and I really appreciate their hard work and efforts. A lot of research there, so we're going to look into that. So thanks everyone, and see you later.